Good morning, students. Today we are going to do the guidelines for reading comprehension. You all know that the first part of the question paper, the first section of the question paper is comprehension, and that carries 20 marks. There are two paragraphs or two sections for it and two passages for it, and you have to answer them. After reading it, you have to answer them. Whether it is class 9, 10, 11 or 12, comprehension forms the first section of the question paper. Why is comprehension so important? What is comprehension? Comprehension is the capacity for understanding fully the act or the action of grasping with a text by scanning, understanding the meaning of written or printed matter. Learning from what one has seen or found in writing or printing. So, why is comprehension so important? Because it trains us, it helps us, the practice of doing the comprehension, the exercises of comprehension, helps us to understand that. To understand the passage. Here we are doing the passage, but in real life situation, whatever you read, whatever you find in writing or printing, understanding of that can be made easy if you are efficient, if you are good at comprehension. That is why comprehension is such an important part of the curriculum of the English syllabus, because it helps you in real life. It helps you to understand the written or the printed matter that is around you. Everything, right from the signboards to the pamphlets to the instructions, everything is in writing. And if you have not trained yourself to understand that, it becomes very difficult. So that is why comprehension is important. Therefore, good or effective reading enables us. So if you are trained to read well, to understand well, it will help you retain all important facts and figures. So if you are good at comprehension, if you are good at understanding, comprehend itself means to understand. So if you are able to understand it, you will remember all the facts and figures, because once we understand something, it is there in our mind for a long time. Recall what we have read, and even you can recall, the memory can come back to you that what you have read previously. Helps us respond to different types of questions correctly and accurately. And the third thing, that the different type of questions that we have, we can respond to it, we can understand it for ourselves. We can respond what the other person is asking, what the question is, what the passage is asking, what the instruction is asking. If we can understand that well, we can answer it correctly. So this is what is comprehension, and this is why it is important for a day to practice in the school, so that we can make use of this understanding or comprehending something written in our day-to-day life, and it will make our understanding, our answering, our recalling, retaining all this easy for us. Bad or casual reading will often make us confused, or our responses to the question will be incorrect or inaccurate. Now, if you have not read something properly, if you have read it very casually, if you have read it badly, you have not paid attention to what you are reading, then the answers, your response, you will be confused. What does it mean? Or what you have read, you don't know it properly, or your answers, your response to will be incorrect or incoherent or inaccurate. So it is important for us that to train ourselves. That is why it is important to practice comprehensions at least once a week, so that you are in the habit of reading the passage and understanding it. If you leave it for the last moment during the examination, it will not be very easy. And this is a very mark-fetching question. You get good marks. It is of 20 marks, and you can easily score about 16, 18, and 19 marks in this if you are in the habit. So it's a request to all the students to at least do once a week the comprehension, so that it becomes easy. You are in the habit of it, and you find it easy to do it. Okay. Now, questions of a passage generally appear in a chronological relationship to the passage. Now, remember, when the questions are there, the first question, you chronologically means what? In the order. If there's a question, the first question, might have its answer, or many times it does have an answer in the first paragraph. The second question might have its answer in the second or the third paragraph. So most of the time, the questions that are said, you don't have to go through it, especially questions if they are local, if they are on facts and figures, then you will find it paragraph wise. If the questions are to test local understanding based on facts available in the passage, then the first question should be in the earlier paragraph and the second in the second paragraph, and so on. But if they are inferential, that is, you have to make assumptions, you have to guess, you have to conclude that what does it mean, then you might have to have collect material from various paragraphs. Suppose the question is that what is the poet trying to say, or what is the passage trying to say as a whole, what is the moral, what is the message, then it is the whole passage you have to read, and then it's not just from one paragraph or two paragraphs, but it is from the whole passage. But if it is a local telling you about the based on facts, based on the causes, the reasons, then you might find it in the paragraph, and might be the first question from the answer will be in the first paragraph, and the second question the answer will be in the second paragraph. In the questions where you may be asked, for instance, to give a suitable title to the passage, would again need you to know the entire passage. Suppose you get a question where they say, example, they tell you to give a suitable title to the passage. So you have to know the entire passage, the whole paragraph, the whole piece that is given. You have to understand what is it about, not just by reading the first paragraph. Then you have to read the whole passage and understand what the passage is about, and then give the suitable title. And the suitable title should be short, to the point, and not with too many words. Okay. Steps for complete comprehension. So you have got your question paper and you have got a comprehension, or you got a comprehension, and how do you go about it? Pre-reading. So first of all, just give a glance to it. In order to have a quick rough guess about what you are going to read, you may look at the title, graph, table or diagrams, if any subtitles, or even the name of the author. This will help you understand the text. So what does it say? Pre-reading. Before you read the whole paragraph, just give it a glance and you read what is the title, what is the graph, if there's a graph, if there's a table, if there are diagrams, if the subtitles are there, or might be the name of the author. It will help you to understand a lot what this whole passage is, because I tell you that the heading of the passage always related to the subject or to the matter of the passage. So if you read the title, if you read the subtitles, you will very clearly come to might understand that what this passage is about. Now, skimming. When you quickly read a passage without bothering about vocabulary difficulties, it is called skimming. Skimming means to just go through it. So first time you have read it, this is pre-reading. The second time you are reading about it without bothering about the meaning of the vocabulary and the other things, and you just want to get the main idea. While skimming the passage, you need to focus on the first and the concluding sentences of the paragraph, which give you a fairly good idea of the passage. Now, while skimming the passage, you need to focus on the first and the concluding sentences. That paragraph is written. So what is the first sentence and what is the last sentence of that paragraph? This is going to give you a good idea about the passage. While skimming, try to read group of words that go together, not single word. And while you are reading the passage, try to read group of words, not one word at a time and then another and then like example, there is a room at the back. You don't have to read there is a room at the back. No, read it, there is a room at the back. So the first one tells you that room, and the second one, part tells you at the back. So through this you get an information, room at the back. Once upon a time, there was an emperor. So you have to put 2 or 3 words together to read it. Now then we come to the scanning. Underline the portion. Scanning means a little deeper reading. Underline the portion which contains the answer to the particular question. Therefore, it is advisable to go through all the questions carefully after you have after you have skimmed the passage. So first what you do, pre-reading, just go through it, seeing the title and the author and the figures and the tables and all that. The second thing, you are going to skim through it without not trying to understand too deeply the vocabulary and all. You just skim through the passage, and then you come to the third point, that is scanning, where underline the portion, go to the question, read the question, come back to the passage again, and for the question where you think you can find an answer to the first question, underline that. See the second question, find see where you can find the answer in which paragraph, just underline that paragraph. Don't underline the exact answer, but the paragraph where you are going to get it. Okay. Now, steps to follow in skimming the main idea. So, while you are skimming going through the passage, what are you going to do? The first step will read the title of the passage or the poem carefully. Find out what clues it gives you about and what passage or the poem is about. So, first step is that read the title, because the title itself is going to tell you a lot about the passage or the poem. Step 2, watch for keywords like causes, results, effects. Words like causes, results, effects will give you a reason for it. These are the key words, and the sentences or the phrases after these words will help you in finding your answers. Step 3, concentrate on the main idea and ignore the details. So what is the main idea of that main theme or the main idea of that passage? Concentrate on that, and there may be many other details. Ignore the detail. That is not what we want. We just want the main idea. We done this? Now, how to approach comprehension questions? The questions are given, the why questions. Suppose it's at the why it happened. Then the why questions require to give reason, provide explanation. So why questions, in a why question, you have to give reason or provide an explanation. So you have to look for words like show, cause, effect, purpose. This shows, this causes, the effect of this or the purpose of this. So if your word or your phrase starts with these words, cause, show, purpose, you will find an answer to your why questions. Then you have the cause words, the signal reasons for an action. The cause word signals what caused, that what caused it. So what words are we going to look for? It was caused because, it was caused due to, it happened since, for that reason, in that, resulting from. So these words, phrases, sentences starting from these words, because, due to, since, for that reason, in that, resulting, will give you an answer to the cause of that particular situation. Now, what is the effect? We get a question like, what is the effect of something, something? Then what do we do? The result of an action. Usually, the words starting with this will be consequently, so, as a result, resulting from. So, these are some of the words. You have to please go through this video once and twice so that you can exactly know that what these words are, how to find out the effect, the answers for the effect words, answers for the cause, answers for the questions with start with why. Now the purpose word. Purpose word means what is the reason, what is the purpose of a particular action. For this, what is the purpose of having a lockdown, suppose we say. So the words which will be how to find an answer in passages, in sentences or phrases that start with for, so that, so as to, in order that, and in order that. So these words will give us an example where we will tell us the answer to the questions which is asking about the purpose. Now the inference question, you have to draw. Inference means these are direct questions. How it happened, why it happened, when it happened, what is the purpose and all that. So these are questions which are direct from you find an answer directly from the passages. And I told you that the first question, my answer might be in the first paragraph. The second question might have the answer in the second paragraph. But suppose it is an inference, or you have to draw a conclusion that what is the message, what is the trying to say, what is the comparison. So where you have to use your own mind to understand and what is the conclusion of it, then you have to read the whole paragraph. It just won't be one passage. It just won't be one paragraph or two paragraphs. Then you will have to read the whole passage. Now, while writing an answer, what do we do? How do we write an answer? Answer the questions in the same tense in which the question is put. This is very important. Answer the question in the same tense in which if your question is in the present tense, your answer is going to be in the present tense. If it is in the past tense, your answer is to be in the past tense. So answer the questions in the same tense in which the question is put. Be brief and to the point. You have to be very brief because most of the questions are one word, 1 marks answer or 2 marks answer. So you have to be brief and to the point. Write simple and clear and grammatically correct. Your marks will be deducted if it is not clear and grammatically it's not correct. Use indirect form of speech and do not try to use the direct form. Use the indirect form of speech. Avoid lifting the same line from the given passage. Answer in your own words. Try not to copy the same sentence, the same word from the passage. Understand what is given in the passage. Understand what is the answer. The answer is, and then put it in your own words. Answer must be relevant. If the question is for 1 mark, give 1 point. If it is for 2 marks, give at least 2 points, unless specifically specified differently in the paper. So if the answer is of 1 marks, understand you have to give 1 point. If the answer is for 2 marks, understand you have to give 2 points. Or if it is mentioned that you have to do more than 2 points, more than 3 points, then you do according to the instruction. Otherwise, it's clear that 1 marks with 1 point, 2 marks with 2 points. Okay. Now to write answers from the questions that test your vocabulary. Suppose you also get questions that which is going to test your vocabulary, the meaning, the opposite, one-word answers to it. How do you do it? Most of the time, our vocabulary is not too good and we cannot understand the word or we cannot answer the words. How to go about it? Read the word given in the question. Look at the paragraphs or lines mentioned against them. This will help you to identify the synonym or antonym. So what do? When the word is given, to find out the opposite synonym or antonym or one-word answer, and most of the time the paragraph number is also given. So go to that paragraph number, put the word there and near the paragraph there, and you will try to find out that which word fits in there. If you do not know the meaning of the word, try to comprehend the meaning of such words from the neighboring words and phrases. Suppose you do not know you cannot understand the meaning, comprehend the meaning of the such words, then what do? Then you go to the neighboring word, the word that is given in the line and the next word to it. Try to guess what it means or try to understand through reading that sentence that what this sentence is talking about, and you get an answer to it. Just don't concentrate on that word, but try to understand the meaning by reading the word before that word or after that word, the neighboring words, so that you can understand what the meaning, the sentence, what is the sentence trying to say, and thus you can guess the meaning and put it there. If you are confused, adopt the following strategy. Choose the word. Suppose you are very confused and you don't know what to do, then you might try this trick. Choose the word that has the same tense or the part of the speech. Suppose it is a noun, there are 2 words there and you are confusing there. So if it is a noun, then the word in the passage, choose the word in the passage that is a noun. Or if it is in the past tense, then choose the word out of the 2 which is in the past tense, and most of the time you will get an answer. Read the sentence with the word in the question in place of the one you are choosing from the passage. So what does this mean? That the word which you have chosen, put it in the passage and find out whether the word which you have substituted, the word which you have put there, whether it is suiting that line, whether it is reading properly, when you are reading and you're listening to it, whether it is in your ears, whether it is sounding right or not. So the word which is given in the question, take that word and put it in the place where you think the answer is, and instead of that answer, put the word which is in the question and then hear it in your own mind and you will understand that which is making the better sense. There are two words, you don't know what to do it, so choose the word from the question, put it in the passage, and then make a sentence, read it again, and which sounds better, which reads better, the tense of it which is correct, the part of speech which is correct there, and you will find it in your mind that which is better, and thus you can choose the answer. Then the other important thing is write clear and neatly. Write the passage, read the passage twice before answering. Before you answer, read your passage twice so that it helps you. I hope these points will help you to do your comprehension in a better way. And I have tried to put down all the points I could think of so that it can makes you easy to understand and you can do your comprehension effectively. Thank you very much.